Hi, everyone. Welcome back to The Whole Truth. And the whole truth about this new Iran deal signed today, June 14th, 2026, between U.S. and Iran is that this is a good deal for the U.S. and it's a good deal for Israel. Now, I know a lot of people in the pro-Israel camp reflexively are skeptical of any deal that gives a lifeline to the regime in Iran. But the fact is, you have to look at this. They're signing this memorandum of understanding with the country that has just killed their supreme leader, destroyed their navy, their air defense, hundreds, if not thousands, of their officers and military personnel, including all the way up to the supreme leader, and devastated their economy and other things, which we have to recall was already so devastated even before the war that millions of Iranian protesters went out into the streets, and of course 40,000 plus were slaughtered. So they're signing this agreement with us. It has to be an utter humiliation for them. Okay, they would like nothing more than to be bombing the shit out of the U.S. and Israel right now, to be killing Netanyahu and Trump for what we've done to their leader. But they can't. They're too impotent. They're not able to. The best that they were able to do was threaten ships in the Strait of Hormuz, which caused insurance companies to refuse to insure, and so effectively blockade the Strait of Hormuz, which prompted the U.S. to blockade their blockade and their ports, and everybody was being squeezed economically because of that. And so both sides signed this memorandum to open up the Strait of Hormuz. And along with it, other, factors relating to the nuclear dust, as Trump calls it, and nuclear enrichment, their funding of proxies, sanctions relief, unfreezing frozen assets. All these things are going to be discussed over the next 60 days. But if you just take the broad view, they have just signed an agreement with us a few months after we killed their supreme leader. That's a humiliation. They do not want to be in this position. They were forced into it. And I think it's going to cause a lot of strife within the regime between the hardcore loyalists and other factions. Right now, the IRGC is speaking on behalf of Mujtaba. Nobody knows if he's alive. I think he is alive, but he has no real public power or anything like that. So there's all sorts of crossfighting and people putting words into the new supreme leader's mouth saying this is going against his red lines or he's in favor of this and so forth, which is just causing a lot of turmoil within Iran. And so I think that this is basically a surrender deal by Iran, which they needed to in order to survive for the time being, but it's going to precipitate a revolution, or the continuation of the revolution and the eventual downfall of the regime. So that's the whole truth as I see it.